right, guys, welcome back into Call It a Night. We are having such a great time here on Radio Row. We're getting to talk to so many interesting people, and right now we're very excited to be joined by two athletes, Special Olympics athlete Antrone Juice Williams from the Special Olympics, and of course, former NFL linebacker Dhani Jones. Thank you guys for being with us here today. You've been making the rounds on Radio Row. How has it been so far?
It's been a great experience. This is my first time in the Super Bowl, and I'm so excited.
Who's like the most exciting person you've seen just like walking around here?
I'm right next to him.
guy.
I'm right next to him.
No, we've seen a lot of people. You know, Akbar Gbajabiamila has been here. Emmett Smith is here. You know, Jeff Garcia. There's so many different people, and really, you know, these are some phenomenal athletes. But the greatest athletes really are within the Special Olympics. And Juice Williams, what he's been able to accomplish, he can tell you a little bit of his story about how he had a stroke and was able to play college basketball and really become an advocate for such a great organization, because that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, so Juice, tell me a little bit about what you've been doing.
I'm an athlete leader, and I play basketball and flag football for Special Olympics Ohio.
Okay, great. And what, you suffered a stroke?
A massive brain hemorrhage stroke. They had me in a coma for 10 days in the hospital for 2 months with a 50-50 chance of living.
Wow, oh my gosh. So how are you able to, you know, be able to come back and live life to the fullest after that?
God, my faith in him, that's number one, first and foremost, and Special Olympics. They've been a big family, big core family, and I'm so honored to be a part of this organization.
Dhani, you are working with the Special Olympics. Tell me like how you got involved and what's been inspiring about it.
So I've known about the Special Olympics since I was in Cincinnati at the Bengals, and getting involved, knowing sort of the power of how sports has the ability to change the world. I mean, it's evident right here. I mean, you know, so many different nations and countries and people and cultures have descended upon Miami for the Super Bowl in order to watch these elite athletes. But the elite athletes in the Special Olympics are also ones to watch, especially in 2022 with the Special Olympics U.S. Games. That's going to happen pretty soon. You know, you have 4,000 athletes, you have 10,000 volunteers, 1,500 coaches, so many different amazing people, and, you know, and examples just like Juice who have been through these issues, but at the same time been able to compete. And the unified sports through Special Olympics is even that much more powerful, where those that have intellectual disabilities as well as non-intellectual disabilities play together, and that's just as powerful.
And Dhani, you've been involved in so many different things, from philanthropy to television to books, really everything when I was just going over all of your accolades. But you've been here at the Super Bowl before. It didn't really end as well for you.
Oh, you're gonna go there. I knew it was gonna happen. You see how she just turned that?
She turned. You're so great.
She just spun that.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, when you're back here, first of all, when you're back here, does it bring up any memories of sort of like haunting you at all? Of what happened?
No. I'm never haunted by my experience. I'm only graced by the opportunity to learn from those experiences. You know, and I know Andy Reid, right, because we played in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. That was 2005. We unfortunately lost by 3 points in Jacksonville. So hopefully, you know, coming a little bit more south in Miami will help Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo and so many other people that were a part of that coaching staff win the game. And I just love watching Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
right.
He's exciting.
And the last couple of playoff games really showed what he can do, but also show what type of level head Andy Reid has as a head coach of that team. But you know, I'm rooting for the big guy.
Yeah, I mean, well, he is definitely thriving in the Miami scene with his Hawaiian shirts that he had. And before we move on, because he's waited so long, you know, to get back here and for that elusive Super Bowl win, how do you think Andy Reid would celebrate if he won?
I think he'd just have a bowl of vanilla ice cream. You know, and it's kind of funny because he loves ice cream, and desserts. But I think that's what he would do. I think he would sit down with a bowl of ice cream and he would watch the tape.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's also a consummate learner and he's always trying to get better. And I just hope that this game ends well for him and ends well for the Chiefs, because I think it's due time.
It's the guy you want to root for. Now, Juice, working with Dhani, what's something that you've taken just from being around such a prolific athlete?
He's a great inspiration to a lot of athletes like myself. It's an honor to be by him. You know, and I'm learning as I go along, but he has done some amazing things, and he gives back to Special Olympics, and we really is glad that he's part of Special Olympics.
And then on the other side, Dhani, what have you taken from being around Special Olympic athletes that maybe you didn't realize before?
I think the most important thing is that resilience, right? The human body, the human mind, the human condition is a powerful one, and regardless of what happens in your life, you can bounce back from that. And Juice will drain threes from the outside all day on any player
All
that's
day.
out there.
All day,
And
every day.
he'll talk trash about it. So that's what I love about him.
Right,
Hey, I love
right.
that. Yeah, we're big into trash talking here. Yeah,
I seen you try to reverse it on him.
I know. Well, I'm a hockey player, so
Okay.
you know we like to chirp. That's what we call it on the ice.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
It's like a bird going at someone.
How fast was your slap shot?
Not very fast. Everyone's seen it before, and they know it's not good. But I can skate fast, which doesn't really mean anything. But Dhani, outside of what you've been doing with Special Olympics, I mentioned that you've done so many different things. What are you working on right now?
Oh, that's a little bit of a loaded question. I'm working on a couple things. I just recently moved to Detroit, building a data analytics company. Really, the reason I moved to Detroit was really I'm focusing on growing minority companies, and I just recently also got involved with the Bloomberg campaign because I think it's important to understand the income disparity between African Americans and Caucasian families. And with the Greenwood Initiative through Bloomberg, he's committed $70 billion into those communities and doubling the amount of minority-owned companies. And when I've been in Detroit and I've seen companies like Piston Automotive Group and Vinnie Johnson, it's a $3.4 billion company that no one's ever heard of except if you're in the automotive sector.
Okay.
And when I think about minority companies and I think about athletes, and I think the power of community, and even more importantly, just kind of going to what Juice is going through, the African American community is suffered in a lot of different ways, and everything is interconnected. You have to have strong businesses, you have to have strong investment, but you also have to have strong community leaders that are able to have the conversation so you don't get to the stress level like Juice had where he had his stroke. Right? There's a reason why, as an athlete, certain things happen maybe on your ankle, affects your right knee. Certain things happen in your life that affects your brain.
Right.
There's circumstances with every action, there's equal and opposite reaction. So that's where I really focus a lot of my time and energy as I start to pivot away from the game of sports into really the game of life.
Wow, I would vote for you after that. So watch out, Bloomberg. But just one more thing on top of that. I was reading you met Michael Bloomberg when you're playing with the Giants. And so what made you want to, first of all, you touched on it there, but what is it about Michael Bloomberg that you really want to get behind, and especially also in politics in 2020?
Yeah, and like I said, I don't want to take away from the Special Olympics, but Michael Bloomberg cares about the Special Olympics. He cares about infrastructure. He cares about young people, and he cares about others that have disabilities. That's what his campaign is all about, bringing together the nation that has unfortunately been divided up until this point. So as I think about from political landscape, everything in that world is tied together as well. You need to have a mouthpiece or a voice out there that's able to be a unifier, just like sports, right? That's what the Special Olympics and the unified sports is able to do. Those with intellectual disabilities and non-disabilities playing on the same field, whether it be flag football, as Juice has done, playing on the basketball court, as Juice has done.
Yeah.
It's time to really bring the nation together, where it's been sort of divided over the last 4 years.
Yes, it has.
It's an important place to have this discussion, just because the power of the NFL. Think about it. There's millions upon millions of people that are here, both digitally and also physically, in Miami for one game. That's the power of sports, and those same people should be supporting the Special Olympics as we're doing right here.
Great. Well, what an important message, and thank you guys so much for both being with us
you
here
for
today.
having us.
Good luck with everything, Juice, and Dhani. Thank you so much also for sharing your insight on the Special Olympics and beyond.
Yeah, well, check out
right.
SpecialOlympics.org.
Great.
Get involved.
All right, well, guys.
Please get involved.
Yes, get involved. Let's do it. Okay, we'll be back with more on Call It a Night. Don't go anywhere. Hey everyone, JSB here. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Fubo Sports on YouTube, or else I guess you could watch puppy videos. That sounds good.